Wine glasses make a particular sound when you tap them with a knife. Crystal clear, high, and pure. It cuts through conversation like a blade through silk. I learned that at my wife's birthday party, standing in our living room with 20 people I thought I knew, holding a glass I'd filled with champagne I'd bought, celebrating a woman who was wearing a smile I no longer recognized. Alyssa, Lisa's best friend, her maid of honor, the woman who'd helped me pick out Lisa's engagement ring 4 years ago, leaned close to my wife's ear and whispered, "He doesn't know about us, does he?" I was standing 3 feet away, holding a cheese plate. The music was loud enough that no one else heard. But I've spent 15 years in crisis PR. I know how to read lips. I know how to hear what people don't want me to hear. Lisa laughed. Not the laugh I fell in love with. A different one, nervous, tight. She glanced at me, and for half a heartbeat, our eyes met. She looked away first. I lifted my glass, tapped it with the knife. The room went silent. My name is Ryan Calloway, and I'm very good at keeping my face blank when the floor drops out from under me. "Everyone," I said, smiling at the faces turning toward me in our living room, "I just want to say how lucky I am to celebrate another year with the most incredible woman I know. Lisa, you make every day better. Happy birthday, sweetheart." I raised my glass. Everyone else raised theirs. Lisa's smile was perfect, practiced. I'd seen that smile in 100 campaign photos across a dozen boardroom tables. It was her professional face. I'd just never seen her use it on me before. I drank. The champagne tasted like metal. Alyssa's husband, Marcus, left 10 minutes later. "Headache," he said. Everyone made sympathetic noises. I noticed Alyssa didn't follow him. She stayed at Lisa's elbow, whispering, laughing, touching her arm. They looked like conspirators. I suppose they were. By 11, the last guests trickled out. Lisa kicked off her heels in the hallway and padded into the kitchen in bare feet, humming something tuneless. I was loading the dishwasher, methodically rinsing plates, stacking them in neat rows. "Great party," she said. "Yeah. You okay?" "You seemed a little quiet toward the end." I turned, looked at her, really looked. She was wearing the blue dress I'd bought her for our anniversary. Her hair was pinned up the way I liked. She looked beautiful. She looked like a stranger. "Just tired," I said. "Work stress." She stepped close, wrapped her arms around my waist, rested her head on my chest. I smelled her perfume, jasmine and something darker. I used to know the name. I couldn't remember it now. "You work too hard," she murmured. "Come to bed soon?" "In a bit. I want to finish cleaning up." She kissed my neck and walked away. I heard her footsteps on the stairs, the bedroom door closing. I waited 5 minutes. Then I pulled out my phone. We share an iCloud account. Family plan. It made sense when we got married. Joint finances, joint calendar, joint life. I opened the shared calendar. Her birthday was marked in red. Lisa's party. 7 p.m. I scrolled back. Last Thursday. Work dinner. Late. I remembered that night. She'd texted at 6 to say she had a client emergency, wouldn't be home until 10. I'd eaten leftover Thai food alone, watched a documentary about Chernobyl, gone to bed before she got back. I tapped the entry. No location, no attendees, just the note. I opened our company's internal directory, searched the calendar for that date. The firm-wide listing showed holiday, office closed, Memorial Day observed. Our office had been dark. There had been no client emergency. I took a screenshot. My hands were steady. Years of media training. Never let them see you sweat. Never let them see you break. I scrolled further. 2 weeks ago, girls' weekend, Napa. I remembered packing her bag, kissing her goodbye Friday morning, telling her to have fun. She'd sent me photos, wine country, vineyards, sunset. I opened our shared photo album. The pictures were gone, but the metadata tab was still there. I'd set it up months ago to back up automatically, keep a record of device information for our taxes. The accountant liked having timestamps for business trips. I tapped the metadata file, exported it. The photos had been taken on her iPhone. Timestamps Friday 6:47 p.m., Saturday 11:23 a.m., Sunday 9:05 a.m. GPS coordinates embedded in the EXIF data. I copied the coordinates, pasted them into Google Maps. Not Napa, Santa Cruz, a hotel 6 blocks from the beach. I took another screenshot, saved it in a folder I labeled Taxes 2024. Boring, invisible. The dishwasher hummed. I stood in the kitchen, alone, holding my phone. The house was silent except for the ticking of the clock on the wall. It was a wedding gift. Lisa's mother had given it to us. It was supposed to symbolize time spent together. I thought about Alyssa's whisper. He doesn't know about us, does he? Us. Not about him? About us. I climbed the stairs. Lisa was already asleep, curled on her side, breathing slow and even. I stood in the doorway for a long moment. Then I went to the guest room, closed the door, and opened my laptop. I pulled up the cloud backup folder. Lisa thought she'd deleted it last year when we upgraded phones. But I'm a PR consultant. I know how digital trails work. Nothing is ever really gone. The folder had a subfolder, old documents, drafts, random files from phones we didn't use anymore. I found it in a text file dated 3 weeks ago. It was titled, Notes, Talk to Attorney. I opened it. Draft Incident Report, confidential. On March 14th, Ryan became verbally aggressive during an argument about finances. He raised his voice, stood over me in a threatening manner, and refused to leave the room when I asked. I felt unsafe. I am documenting this in case I need to establish a pattern of behavior. I read it twice. March 14th. I'd been in San Francisco that day. All-day workshop. I had the hotel receipt, the flight itinerary, 6 witnesses. The argument never happened. I took a screenshot, saved it in the same folder. Then I closed the laptop and sat in the dark guest room, listening to my wife sleep one room over, and thought about the word us. The next morning, Lisa left early. Client meeting, she said. She kissed my cheek, told me she'd be home by 6. I watched her pull out of the driveway in her silver sedan, watched the taillights disappear around the corner. Then I made coffee, strong, black. I opened the shared calendar on my laptop. Friday night, 2 days out. Work dinner, 7 p.m. I opened her contacts, scrolled to the J's, Jordan Hayes, HR director, same company. I'd met him twice, once at Lisa's holiday party, once at a charity gala, tall, confident, the kind of guy who smiled with too many teeth. He'd shaken my hand, told me Lisa was a real asset to the team. I'd thanked him, smiled back. I opened LinkedIn. Jordan's profile, married, 2 kids, lives in Redwood City. I clicked through to his wife's profile. Vanessa Hayes, pediatric nurse. Profile picture, her and Jordan on a beach somewhere, smiling. Her maiden name was listed in the education section, Vanessa Cho. I stared at the name, Cho. At that, I opened Lisa's college alumni group page, searched the member list, Vanessa Cho, class of 2009, same year as Lisa. I clicked through to an old group photo from a reunion 3 years ago. There they were, Lisa and Vanessa, arms around each other. Big smiles. The caption, Roomies Reunited. My wife was sleeping with her college roommate's husband. I closed the laptop, drank my coffee. It was cold. I didn't throw anything, didn't shout, didn't cry. I opened my phone, took a screenshot of Jordan's LinkedIn profile, saved it. Then I went to work. 4 days later, I stood at the counter of our bank. The teller was young, early 20s, still learning how to pretend she cared about other people's problems. I need to pull our joint account statement, I said. Last 3 months. Sure, can I ask what it's for? Reconciling travel expenses. Tax prep. She nodded. Typed. The printer word. She handed me 6 pages, stapled in the corner. I flipped through them in the parking lot. There. Page 3, March 26th, Hotel Paradiso, Santa Cruz, $487.32. March 22nd, the first night of Lisa's girls' weekend. I pulled out my phone, took a photo of the receipt next to that morning's newspaper on the passenger seat. Date stamp visible. Clear. I drove home. It was Wednesday. Lisa had a late meeting. I had 2 hours. Her laptop was in the study. I didn't need the password. She'd given it to me months ago when she'd asked me to upload some photos for her. I opened it, navigated to the iCloud folder. There, backup files, text documents. Most of it was work stuff. Performance reviews, meeting notes, and then notes, talk to attorney. I copied it to a thumb drive, photographed the screen, closed the laptop, wiped my fingerprints off the keys with my sleeve. Paranoid, maybe, but I'd seen enough PR disasters to know how fast things could turn. That night, Lisa came home at 9. She kissed me, said the meeting had run long, she smelled like wine. I didn't ask. We ate leftover pasta, watched a crime procedural, went to bed. She fell asleep first. I stared at the ceiling, counting her breaths, thinking about the document I'd found. She was building a narrative, a weapon, something to use if I ever got too close. But she'd made one mistake. She'd documented it, time-stamped it, and now I had it too. 7 days after the party, my phone buzzed. Text from Morgan, Lisa's younger sister. Can we meet? It's important, I replied. Coffee, tomorrow morning? Yes. 10 a.m., Starbucks on Main. I showed up early. Morgan arrived 5 minutes late, face pale, eyes red. She dropped into the chair across from me and didn't say anything for a long moment. "You okay?" I asked. She shook her head, pulled out her phone, slid it across the table. "I was helping Lisa transfer files from her old laptop last week," she said. "She asked me to grab some photos for a presentation. I found this." The screen showed a text file, same one I'd already seen. Draft incident report. Confidential. I didn't let my face move. "What is this?" "I don't know, but it's dated 3 weeks ago. And Ryan, you were in San Francisco that day. I remember, you sent me that photo of the Golden Gate Bridge from your hotel room." I looked up at her. "You remember that?" "I have a good memory." She pulled the phone back. I didn't want to believe it. I thought maybe it was just notes for something, a work thing. But then I read it again, and I realized she's lying. She's lying about you, and I don't know why. Her voice cracked. I reached across, touched her hand. "I need you to not say anything to her yet." "Why?" "Because I'm gathering proof, and if she knows I'm looking, she'll erase everything." Morgan stared at me. "Proof of what?" I told her. "Not everything, just enough. The calendar conflicts, the hotel receipt, the deleted photos, the metadata." She listened, didn't interrupt. When I finished, she was quiet for a long time. "She's my sister," Morgan finally said. "I know. But she's wrong. And this," she gestured at her phone, "this is sick. She was going to ruin you." I nodded. Morgan took a breath. "What do you need from me?" "Silence. And that file. Can you send it to me?" She forwarded it. My phone buzzed. I saved it in the same folder. "Thank you," I said. She stood, looked down at me. "I love my sister, but I love the truth more." She left. I sat there for another 10 minutes, drinking cold coffee, watching people come and go. My phone buzzed again. Different number. Unknown. "Ryan Calloway? This is David Chen, photographer. I shot the charity spring gala last month. I think we should talk." I stared at the message. Typed back, "About what?" His reply, "Your wife. And Jordan Hayes." I have logs. I met the photographer the next day. Same coffee shop, different table. David Chen was in his 50s, silver hair, weathered hands, the kind of guy who'd seen every angle and stopped caring about appearances. He carried a leather messenger bag that looked older than I was. "Thanks for meeting," he said, sliding into the chair. "You said you have logs. Write to it." "Okay." He pulled out a tablet, opened a folder. "I shoot a lot of charity events in this area. Spring gala, summer fundraiser, winter ball, you know the circuit." I nodded. "I keep arrival logs," he continued. "Timestamps, names, who shows up with who, helps me organize shots, track people for the group photos. Your wife's been at 3 events in the last 4 months. I have her down as arriving with Jordan Hayes each time, same entrance, same timestamp, within 2 minutes of each other." He turned the tablet, showed me a spreadsheet. March 10th, Spring Gala. Lisa Calloway, 6:47 p.m. Jordan Hayes, 6:48 p.m. Main entrance April and 15th. Earth Day benefit. Lisa Calloway, 7:04 p.m. Jordan Hayes, 7:05 p.m. Main entrance, May 20. Arts Council mixer. Lisa Calloway, 6:52 p.m. Jordan Hayes, 6:53 p.m. Main entrance. I looked up. "You track everyone like this?" "Only the people who pay me to, and the ones who act suspicious enough that I start paying attention." He closed the tablet. "Look, I don't do marriage surveillance. That's not my thing. But about 2 weeks ago, Jordan Hayes called me. Asked if I could delete some shots from the spring gala. Said there were some unflattering angles he didn't want circulating. Offered me $500. "Did you?" "No, I told him I keep archives for the venues, and I don't alter records." He got pissed. Hung up. David leaned back. "So I started wondering why a guy would want to erase photos from a charity event. Pulled up my logs, saw his name next to your wife's, 3 times, same pattern." I didn't say anything. David reached into his bag, pulled out a single sheet of paper, handwritten. Lisa Calloway and Jordan Hayes arrived together at the following charity events. March 10th, April 15th, May 20th. Arrival times logged. Witnessed by David Chen, event photographer. He'd signed it, dated it. "I'm not a lawyer," he said, "but I know evidence when I see it. If you need this, it's yours." I took the paper, folded it carefully, slid it into my jacket pocket. "Why are you helping me?" David shrugged. "Because Jordan Hayes is a dick, and because I've got daughters. If someone did this to one of them, I'd want someone to tell me the truth." I extended my hand. He shook it. One more thing, he said as I stood to leave. Jordan Hayes works in HR, right? Yeah. Then he knows how to bury complaints, how to make problems go away. If you're planning to fight this, don't do it through his channels. Go around him. I nodded. I will. David stood, gathering his things. Then he paused. Can I ask you something? Sure. What are you going to do with all this? The evidence, the logs, the receipts? I looked at him. I'm going to make sure everyone knows the truth. How? I don't know yet, but I'll figure it out. David studied me for a moment. You're not going to do anything stupid, are you? No confrontations, no violence. No, nothing like that. Good. Because guys like Jordan Hayes, they're good at playing the victim. If you give them an opening, they'll use it. They'll make you look like the bad guy. I know. So be smart, be patient, and when you move, make sure it's airtight. He picked up his bag. I've seen a lot of people try to expose cheaters. Most of them fail because they act on emotion. They confront too early, they don't have enough proof, and the cheater talks their way out of it. I won't make that mistake. I believe you. David extended his hand again. Good luck, Ryan. You're going to need it. He left. I sat there for another 10 minutes, staring at my coffee, thinking about what came next. I had the evidence, I had the witness statement, I had the calendar conflicts and the hotel receipts and the metadata. But I needed more. I needed to understand the full scope of what Lisa and Jordan had done. I needed to know how long it had been going on. I needed to know if there were other people involved, other lies, other cover-ups, and I needed to do it without tipping them off. I pulled out my phone, opened a notes app, started making a list. Evidence collected so far. Shared calendar conflicts, work dinner during office closure, hotel receipt from joint account, Santa Cruz, March 22, cloud metadata showing deleted photos, same dates, photographer's witness statement, 3 events matching arrival times, fake incident report draft, March 14th when I was in San Francisco. Still needed. More financial records. Check for other hotel charges, restaurant receipts, communication records, texts, emails, but only what I can access legally. Witness statements from others, coworkers, friends who might have seen something. Timeline of the affair. When did it start? How often did they meet? I stared at the list. It felt clinical, cold, like I was building a case file instead of dealing with the collapse of my marriage. But that's exactly what I was doing, because if I let myself feel it, really feel it, I'd fall apart. And I couldn't afford to fall apart. Not yet. That night, Lisa came home at 7:30. She looked tired. She dropped her bag by the door, kicked off her shoes, and collapsed onto the couch beside me. Long day? I asked. The worst. Jordan's been in a mood all week. Board's reviewing expense reports, and he's paranoid they're going to flag something. I kept my eyes on the TV. Why would they? I don't know. He just gets like that sometimes. Micromanaging everything. She sighed. How was your day? Fine. Worked from home. Caught up on emails. She rested her head on my shoulder. I felt her weight. Her warmth. It didn't feel like comfort anymore. It felt like strategy. Ryan? She said after a moment. Yeah? Are we okay? I looked down at her. What do you mean? I don't know. You've just seemed distant lately, like you're somewhere else. I'm just stressed. Work stuff. You sure that's all it is? Yeah. Why? She sat up, looked at me. I just want to make sure we're good. You and me. That we're solid. I held her gaze. Are we? Of course we are. She smiled, touched my face. I love you. You know that, right? Yeah, I know. She kissed me. I kissed her back. It felt mechanical, hollow. She pulled away. I'm going to take a shower. Want to watch something after? Sure. She stood, walked upstairs. I sat there staring at the TV, not seeing it. She'd asked if we were okay, if we were solid. She knew something was wrong. She could feel it. But she didn't know what I knew. She didn't know I'd found the hotel receipt, the calendar conflicts, the photographer's logs, the fake incident report. She thought she was still in control, and I was going to let her keep thinking that, until I was ready. The next morning, I woke early. Lisa was still asleep. I went downstairs, made coffee, opened my laptop. I pulled up our joint credit card account, scrolled through the last 6 months of transactions. There, another hotel charge, different location. February 18th, Seaside Inn, Half Moon Bay, $312.45. I cross-referenced it with Lisa's calendar. That weekend, she'd told me she was going to a work retreat, team-building exercises. She'd sent me photos of the conference room, the catered lunch, the motivational speaker. I opened the shared photo album, found the photos from that weekend, checked the metadata. The photos had been taken at the Seaside Inn, not at a conference center. She'd lied about the retreat. She'd been with Jordan. I took screenshots, saved them in the evidence folder, kept scrolling. January 22nd, Bella Vista Restaurant, San Jose, $187.63. I remembered that night. Lisa had said she was having dinner with a client. She'd come home at 11, smelling like wine, telling me the client had been difficult, but she'd closed the deal. I checked her work calendar, no client meeting listed. I checked Jordan's expense reports, publicly available through the company portal for board members. No client dinner reimbursement for that date. They'd paid out of pocket. On my credit card, I took more screenshots. By the time I finished, I had 8 additional transactions. Hotels, restaurants, a weekend trip to Monterey that Lisa had called a girl's getaway. Every single one had been a lie. I closed the laptop, sat back. 8 months, at least, maybe longer. This wasn't a mistake. This wasn't a moment of weakness. This was a pattern, calculated, sustained, deliberate. And she'd been lying to my face the entire time. 2 days later, I sat in my home office, door locked, laptop open. I pulled up the company ethics hotline website. Most people don't know this, but big firms have external ethics hotlines, third-party services, designed so employees can report misconduct without going through internal HR. It's a legal safeguard, protects the company from liability, and it's anonymous. Unless you want it on the record. I wanted it on the record. I clicked File a Complaint, filled out the form. Nature of complaint: dual employment relationship in violation of company policy. HR Director Jordan Hayes engaged in undisclosed relationship with subordinate Lisa Calloway. Evidence attached. I uploaded everything: calendar conflicts, hotel receipts, photographer's statement, metadata logs, the fake incident report. I entered my name, my contact information. I hit submit. The page refreshed. A case number appeared. ETH 2024-0847. I took a screenshot, printed it, signed the back, filed it in a folder labeled Legal, Confidential. The complaint was out of Jordan's hands now. It would go to the board, to the external auditors, to people who didn't owe him favors. I closed the laptop, sat back. My phone buzzed. Text from Vanessa Hayes. We need to talk. I stared at the message, typed back, when? Today, as soon as possible. Can you meet me? Where? Somewhere private, not a coffee shop, too many people. I thought about it. There's a park near the marina. Quiet. Benches by the water. I know it. 1 hour? I'll be there. I set the phone down. Stood. Paced the room. Vanessa knew. Somehow she knew. Maybe Jordan had slipped up. Maybe she'd found something. Maybe she'd just put the pieces together. But she knew. And now we were going to have to decide what to do about it. Together. I arrived at the park early, found a bench overlooking the water, sat down, watched the boats drift by. Vanessa arrived 10 minutes later. She looked different than I remembered. Thinner, tired. Her hair was pulled back in a messy ponytail, no makeup. She wore jeans and a sweatshirt. She sat down beside me, didn't say anything for a long moment. How did you know? I finally asked. Credit card statement. I check them every month. Jordan thinks I don't, but I do. She pulled out her phone, showed me a screenshot. Hotel charges, restaurants, all on nights he said he was working late. Same here. I confronted him last night. I looked at her. What did he say? He denied it, said they were work expenses, that he'd forgotten to submit them for reimbursement, that I was being paranoid. Her voice was flat, empty. So I pulled up his expense reports. None of those charges were there. He lied, right to my face. I'm sorry. Don't be. I'm not. She looked at me. I'm angry, but I'm not surprised. I've known something was wrong for months. I just didn't want to believe it. Yeah. Is it Lisa? I nodded. How long have you known? About a week. I overheard something at her birthday party. Started digging, found the hotel receipts, the calendar conflicts, the deleted photos. Do you have proof? Yes, a lot of it. Good. Vanessa's jaw tightened. Because I want to destroy him. I looked at her. Really looked. She wasn't crying, wasn't shaking. She was calm, focused, determined. What do you want to do? I asked. I want everyone to know. His friends, his family, his coworkers, the board. Everyone. She turned to me. I want him to lose everything. The way I'm about to lose everything. You're not losing everything. Yes, I am. My marriage, my trust, my sense of reality. The life I thought I had. She paused. But I'm not going to lose quietly. I'm not going to let him rewrite this story. I'm not going to let him play the victim. Neither am I. Good. She pulled out a folder, handed it to me. Credit card statements, 6 months, every hotel, every restaurant, every lie. I opened it, scanned the pages. It matched my evidence almost perfectly. I also have text messages, she continued. Jordan's been sloppy, he leaves his phone around. I took photos of his conversations with Lisa. Nothing explicit, but enough to show they were coordinating, planning, lying. Can I see them? She pulled up the photos on her phone. Showed me. Jordan to Lisa. Running late. Tell V I'm stuck at the office. Lisa to Jordan. Told R I have a client dinner. We're good. Jordan to Lisa. Same hotel as last time? Lisa to Jordan. Yes. I'll get there first. I read them all. My hands were steady, my face was blank. But inside, I was screaming. What do you want to do with all this? Vanessa asked. I filed an ethics complaint, external hotline. It's out of Jordan's control now. The board will have to investigate. Good. I'm filing for separation. And I'm going to make sure the custody evaluator sees all of this. Jordan's not getting unsupervised access to my kids. Not after this. Smart. Ryan. She looked at me. I know we barely know each other, but we're in this together now, whether we like it or not. I know. So I'm asking you, are you ready to go public with this? Because once we start, there's no going back. Everyone will know. Our families, our friends, our co-workers. It's going to be ugly. I thought about it. About Lisa. About the lies. About the fake incident report. About the months of gaslighting. About the choice I had to make. Stay silent and let them get away with it. Or fight back and risk everything. I'm ready, I said. Vanessa nodded. Good, because so am I. I met Vanessa at a park 2 towns over. Neutral ground. Far enough from anyone who might know us. She was sitting on a bench near the playground, watching kids on the swings. She looked small, tired. When she saw me, she didn't smile. I sat down beside her, didn't say anything. I got your message, she said finally. I'm sorry. I didn't want to. Don't, she cut me off, pulled out her phone. Opened a text thread, turned the screen toward me. Jordan, March 22nd, 9:47 p.m. Working late. Client emergency. Don't wait up. She scrolled. Jordan, April 15th, 8:15 p.m. Dinner ran long. Be home by 11. Jordan, May 20th, 7:52 p.m. Stuck at the office. Partner meeting, late night. She locked the phone. Looked at me. I have 3 years of texts like that, she said. I believed him. Every time. I'm sorry. Stop apologizing. Her voice was sharp, then softer. I pulled his credit card statements. The ones he thinks I don't see. Hotel charges, restaurants. All on the same nights he said he was working. She handed me a printout. I scanned it. 3 entries highlighted in yellow. March 22nd, Hotel Paradiso, Santa Cruz, $487.32. April 15th, Chez Laurent, Palo Alto, $214.67. May 20th, The Rooftop, San Jose, $342.18. Same dates. Same nights. I pulled out my folder, showed her the bank statement from my joint account. The hotel charge, the calendar screenshots, the photographer's statement. Vanessa read it all. Didn't cry. Just sat there, holding the papers, staring at nothing. They scripted this, she said finally. Look. She pulled up another text. Showed me. Jordan, March 22nd, 9:47 p.m. Working late. Client emergency. Don't wait up. Then she opened a screenshot I'd sent her earlier. Lisa's text to me. Same night. Lisa, March 22nd, 9:51 p.m. Girls' trip running late. Don't wait up. 4 minutes apart. Same phrase. Don't wait up. They coordinated, I said. Vanessa nodded. Every time. We sat in silence for a long moment. The swings creaked. A kid laughed. What do you want to do? I asked. She looked at me. What are you doing? I told her. The ethics complaint, the evidence folder, the plan. She listened. When I finished, she was quiet. Then she said, There's a charity gala in 2 weeks. Big one. Board members, donors, the whole social circuit. Jordan's going. Your wife too, probably. I know. We're invited. So am I. She met my eyes. What if we both showed up? I understood immediately. You want to do this publicly. I want them to face what they did. In front of everyone. No hiding, no excuses. Her jaw was tight. I want my kids to know their father is a liar, and I want his friends to know too. I nodded slowly. We'd need proof. Physical copies. Something we can hand out. Make it undeniable. I'll bring the credit card statements. You bring the rest. They'll fight back? Let them. Vanessa stood, looked down at me. I've been a good wife, a good mother. I've believed every lie. I'm done. She walked away. I sat there watching her go, thinking about the gala. 2 weeks, 14 days. I pulled out my phone, texted Claire Whitmore, the gala chair. Older woman, sharp as a knife, ran the charity board like a general. Claire, it's Ryan Calloway. I have some information I need to share with the board before the gala. Can we meet? Her reply came 30 seconds later. Tomorrow, 10 a.m., my office. Claire's office was in a downtown high-rise, 10th floor. Glass walls, modern art, the kind of place where power was quiet and absolute. She was waiting when I arrived, gestured to a chair. You said you have information. I handed her a sealed envelope. Evidence of a policy breach by a board-affiliated member. I'm asking you to review it before the gala. She raised an eyebrow. This is dramatic. It needs to be on the record. She opened the envelope, read the summary page I'd prepared. Her face didn't move, but her eyes sharpened. Jordan Hayes? Yes. And your wife? Yes. She flipped through the rest. Calendar conflicts, hotel receipts, photographer's statement, the fake incident report, the ethics case number. When she finished, she set the papers down and looked at me. This is a mess. I know. If I read this into the record at the gala, it's going to explode. Publicly, no taking it back. I know. Why not handle it privately? Because Jordan Hayes controls HR? He'll bury it. And my wife is building a false accusation against me to protect herself. I need witnesses. I need it on the record. Claire leaned back, tapped her fingers on the desk. You understand what you're asking me to do. Yes. I'll be ending his career, and hers. They did that themselves. She studied me for a long moment. Then she nodded. I'll place evidence packets at every seat, before the event starts. Everyone will see it at the same time. I'll read the ethics case number into the board minutes during my opening remarks. If he objects, I'll enforce the suspension policy. She paused. And if your wife tries to leave, I'll make sure everyone knows why. Thank you. Don't thank me. She stood. I'm doing this because the board has a fiduciary duty to truth, not because I like you. I stood, extended my hand. She shook it. One more thing, she said. Bring your attorney. This is going to get legal fast. That night, I lay in bed beside Lisa. She was scrolling through her phone, half asleep. The gala's next week, she murmured. Yeah. Jordan's giving a speech? Should be good? She turned off the light, curled into me. I felt her breathing slow. I stared at the ceiling, counting the days. 7 left. The week before, the gala moved in slow motion. Lisa was distracted. She came home late 3 nights in a row, each time with the same excuse. Board prep. Gala logistics. You know how it is? I did. On Tuesday, I printed 60 copies of the evidence packet. Each one was 8 pages, timeline, calendar screenshots, hotel receipt, photographer's statement, bank records, the fake incident report, the ethics case number. I labeled each packet with a small sticker, for board review only. I worked in my office with the door locked. Lisa knocked once, asked if I wanted tea. I said yes. She brought it, set it on my desk, glanced at the printer. What are you working on? Client pitch, confidential. She nodded, kissed the top of my head, left. I kept printing. The printer hummed steadily, spitting out page after page. Each packet was identical, precise, undeniable. I'd spent hours formatting them, making sure every piece of evidence was clearly labeled, every date cross-referenced, every source documented. This wasn't just about exposing Lisa and Jordan. It was about making sure no one could dismiss it as hearsay or emotion. This was documentation. Cold, clinical, irrefutable. I collated the pages carefully, sliding each set into a clear plastic sleeve. The sleeves were important. They made the packets look official, professional, like something that belonged at a board meeting, not like the desperate act of a betrayed husband, though that's exactly what it was. By the time I finished, it was past midnight. My back ached from hunching over the desk. My eyes burned from staring at the printer. But I had 60 perfect packets stacked in a cardboard box, ready to go. I locked the box in my car trunk, went back inside, climbed into bed beside Lisa. She was already asleep, breathing softly, one hand tucked under her pillow. She looked peaceful, innocent. I wondered if she'd look the same after Saturday. Wednesday morning, I woke to find Lisa already gone, a note on the kitchen counter. Early meeting, love you. I crumpled the note, threw it away. My phone rang. Unknown number. I answered. Mr. Calloway? This is Detective Sarah Brennan with the County Sheriff's Office. My stomach dropped. Yes? I'm calling about a complaint we received. Someone filed a report claiming you've been harassing them. Threatening behavior. I wanted to give you a chance to respond before we proceed. I sat down. Who filed the complaint? I can't disclose that at this stage, but the complainant provided documentation, text messages, emails, a written statement describing incidents of verbal aggression and intimidation. That's not true. I'm not making any judgments, Mr. Calloway. I'm just following up. Can you come in for a voluntary interview tomorrow morning? I have an attorney. I'll need to consult with him first. That's your right, but I'd encourage you to cooperate. It'll look better if you're willing to address this directly. I hung up, called my attorney immediately. Ryan, he said after I explained. This is the fake incident report. She's escalating, she's trying to get ahead of the gala, establish a narrative that you're unstable or dangerous. Can she do that? She can try, but we have proof the incident never happened. You were in San Francisco, we have receipts, witnesses, flight records. If she pushes this, it'll backfire spectacularly. What do I do? Go to the interview. Bring me. We'll provide the alibi documentation. The detective will see immediately that the complaint is false, and then we'll have another piece of evidence showing Lisa's pattern of deception. Okay. Ryan, this is a good thing. She's panicking. People who panic make mistakes. I hung up, sat in the kitchen, stared at the wall. Lisa was trying to preemptively destroy me. Again. But this time, I was ready. Thursday morning, I sat in a small interview room at the sheriff's office. My attorney sat beside me. Detective Brennan sat across the table, a file folder open in front of her. Mr. Calloway, thank you for coming in. I want to be clear. You're not under arrest. This is just a preliminary interview. Understood. The complainant alleges that on March 14th of this year, you became verbally aggressive during an argument, that you stood over her in a threatening manner and refused to leave the room when asked. She states she felt unsafe and feared for her physical safety. My attorney slid a folder across the table. Detective, my client was in San Francisco on March 14th. Here's his hotel receipt, his flight itinerary, and a signed attendance sheet from a professional workshop he attended that day. He was physically incapable of being in the location the complainant describes. Detective Brennan opened the folder, read through the documents. Her expression didn't change, but I saw her jaw tighten. These appear to be legitimate, she said. They are, my attorney replied. Furthermore, we have reason to believe the complainant filed this report in bad faith as part of a broader pattern of deception. We're prepared to provide additional documentation if necessary. Detective Brennan closed the folder, looked at me. Mr. Calloway, do you know why someone would file a false report against you? Yes, my wife and I are separating. She's been having an affair with a coworker. I discovered it and documented the evidence. I believe she filed this report to preemptively discredit me in case I went public. That's a serious allegation. I have proof. My attorney slid a second folder across. This is a copy of the draft incident report we found on the complainant's personal device. It's dated 3 weeks ago. It was never filed officially until now. We believe she's been holding it as insurance. Detective Brennan read it. Her face hardened. This is a problem, she said quietly. For her or for me? I asked. For her. Filing a false police report is a crime. If what you're saying is true, and these documents suggest it is, she could face charges. I don't want to press charges, I said. I just want the record to reflect the truth. Detective Brennan nodded. I'll note that the complaint appears to be unfounded. I'll recommend no further action, and I'll document the alibi evidence in my report. Thank you. She stood, extended her hand. Mr. Calloway, I'm sorry you're going through this. For what it's worth, you handled it the right way. A lot of people would have lost their temper. I'm a crisis PR consultant, I said. Losing my temper would have been exactly what she wanted. Detective Brennan smiled grimly. Smart man. Thursday afternoon, Morgan called. Mom asked me if everything's okay with you and Lisa. What did you say? I said Lisa's stressed about work, which isn't a lie. Thanks. Ryan, are you sure about this? The gala? Yes. It's going to destroy her. She tried to destroy me first. Silence. Okay, Morgan said finally. I'll be there, front row. Morgan, no, I'm coming. She's my sister and I love her. But what she's doing is wrong, and someone from the family needs to stand with you, so it's going to be me. My throat tightened. Thank you. Don't thank me, just don't lose yourself in this. Don't become the kind of person who enjoys watching someone suffer, even if they deserve it. I won't. Promise me. I promise. She hung up. I sat there, phone in hand, thinking about her words. I didn't enjoy this. I didn't want to humiliate Lisa in front of 60 people. I didn't want to end Jordan's career. I didn't want any of this. But I couldn't let them win. And sometimes survival looks like cruelty. On Friday, Vanessa texted, I have the papers, separation filing, custody adjustment. My attorney says it's airtight. I replied, mine too. We serve them at the same time? Yes. During the recess. After Claire reads the case number. Agreed. Ryan? Yeah? Thank you. I didn't reply. I didn't know what to say. Another text came through. I'm scared. Me too. What if this doesn't work? What if they find a way to spin it? They won't. We have too much proof. And it's all going into the official record. They can't erase that. Okay. Vanessa, we're doing the right thing. I know. It just doesn't feel like it. It never does. She didn't respond after that. I set my phone down, stared at the ceiling. Tomorrow night, everything would change, for better or worse. Saturday morning, I woke early. Lisa was still asleep. I went downstairs, made coffee, sat in the kitchen. The house was silent. Too silent. I could hear the clock ticking on the wall, the hum of the refrigerator, my own breathing. I thought about the first time I'd brought Lisa to this house. We'd just gotten engaged. She'd walked through every room, planning where furniture would go, talking about paint colors and curtains. She'd been so excited, so full of life. I wondered when that woman had disappeared, or if she'd ever really existed. My phone buzzed. Text from Claire. Packets are loaded. Security is briefed. Board secretary will type the minutes live on the projector. If Hayes objects, he'll be escorted out under policy. If Lisa tries to leave, I'll note it in the minutes. I replied, understood. Another text. This is going to be ugly. I wrote back. Truth usually is. Claire's response. I've been on a lot of boards, seen a lot of scandals. This is the most documented case I've ever seen. Whatever happens tonight, no one will be able to say they didn't know. That's the point. Good luck, Ryan. Thank you. I finished my coffee. Went upstairs, showered, dressed. Lisa was awake when I came out of the bathroom. She was sitting on the edge of the bed, scrolling through her phone. Big day, she said. Yeah. You nervous? A little, she smiled. Don't be. It's just a gala. Speeches, dinner, dancing. Same as every year. Right. She stood, walked over, wrapped her arms around my waist, looked up at me. I'm glad you're coming with me, she said. I know these events aren't your favorite, but it means a lot that you're there. I looked down at her, studied her face, the face I'd woken up next to for 4 years, the face I'd kissed 1,000 times, the face that had lied to me for months. I wouldn't miss it, I said. She kissed me. I didn't kiss back. She pulled away, frowning. You okay? Fine, just tired. Okay, well, get some rest. We need to leave by 5:30. She walked into the bathroom, closed the door. I stood there alone, listening to the shower start. Tonight, I thought, tonight it ends. That afternoon, I drove to the gala venue. It was a ballroom in a downtown hotel. High ceilings, chandeliers, round tables set for 10. Claire met me at the service entrance. She had a rolling cart with 60 evidence packets stacked neatly in clear sleeves. Help me place these, she said. We moved through the empty ballroom, setting one packet at each seat. The sleeves caught the light. Inside, the timeline was visible. Dates, names, proof. They're going to see these the moment they sit down, Claire said. That's the point. She nodded. We finished the last table. Stood back. 60 seats. 60 packets. I took a photo. Saved it. Claire looked at me. You ready for this? No. Good. People who think they're ready for war are the ones who lose. She paused. Looked around the empty ballroom. You know, I've been doing this for 20 years. Charity work, board governance. I've seen a lot of good people do bad things. And I've seen a lot of bad people pretend to be good. Which one is Lisa? I don't know. Maybe both. Claire turned to me. But I know what you are. You're someone who refused to be erased. And that takes courage. It doesn't feel like courage. It never does. Courage feels like terror, like standing on the edge of a cliff and jumping anyway. She touched my shoulder. You're jumping tonight, and I'm going to make sure you land. Thank you. Don't thank me yet. Wait until it's over. That night, Lisa stood in front of the mirror, adjusting her dress. It was black. Elegant. She looked beautiful. You're quiet, she said. Just thinking. About what? Tomorrow. She turned, smiled. It'll be fun. You'll see. I nodded. She walked over, took my hands. Ryan, I know things have been weird lately. I know I've been distracted, but I want you to know I love you, and I'm grateful for you, for everything you do. I looked at her. Really looked. She meant it. In that moment, I think she actually meant it. But it didn't matter, because love without honesty is just a prettier lie. I love you too, I said. She kissed me, tasted like lipstick and lies. I love you, she said again. I didn't answer. We left for the gala at 5:30. The sun was setting, the sky was orange and purple. Beautiful. Lisa held my hand in the car, talked about the speeches, the auction, the people who'd be there. I nodded, smiled, said nothing. And the whole time, I thought about the 60 packets waiting in the ballroom. 60 truths, one for every lie. The gala started at 6. I arrived at 5:30 with Morgan. Vanessa was already there, standing near the entrance, hands folded. She looked calm, terrifyingly calm. Ready? I asked. Yes. Morgan squeezed my hand. I'll find our table. She walked in. Vanessa and I stayed by the door. Jordan doesn't know I'm coming, she said. I told him I had a shift at the hospital. Lisa doesn't know you're coming either. Good. Guests started arriving. I recognized faces, board members, donors, Lisa's coworkers, Jordan's friends. At 6:15, Lisa arrived. She saw me, smiled, waved, started toward me. Then she saw Vanessa. Her face froze. Vanessa, she said, voice bright and fake. I didn't know you were coming. Surprise, Vanessa said. Lisa's eyes flicked between us. You two know each other? We do now, I said. Jordan appeared behind Lisa, tall, smiling, that same too-wide grin. He saw Vanessa. The smile died. Honey, he said, what are you doing here? Attending a gala, Vanessa said. With Ryan. Jordan looked at me. Something cold passed through his eyes. We should find our seats, Lisa said quickly. Yes. Claire's Lisa grabbed my arm. Her grip was tight, desperate. Her makeup was smudged at the corners of her eyes. Ryan, please, we need to talk. I stopped, looked at her hand on my sleeve, then at her face. Talk, I said. Not here. Somewhere private. No. Ryan. You had months to talk to me, Lisa. Months to tell me the truth. You chose to lie instead. You chose to build a fake abuse story to use against me. You don't get privacy now. Her face twisted. I didn't. March 14th, I said quietly. You wrote that I became verbally aggressive and threatening. I was in San Francisco that day. I have the hotel receipt, the flight records, 6 witnesses from the workshop I attended. I was just making notes. I was scared. Of what? That I'd find out about Jordan? That I'd divorce you first? I pulled my arm free. You weren't scared of me, Lisa. You were scared of losing control. Her mouth opened, closed. She looked around the hallway at the faces watching us, some sympathetic, most not. You don't understand, she said, voice breaking. It wasn't like that. It wasn't planned. It just happened. Nothing just happens, I said. You made choices. Every time you deleted a photo, every time you coordinated an alibi with Jordan, every time you came home and kissed me and told me you loved me while you were sleeping with someone else. Those were choices. I do love you. No. The word came out harder than I intended. You don't get to say that anymore. Love doesn't look like what you did. Love doesn't write fake abuse reports. Love doesn't gaslight someone for months while building an escape plan. Tears streamed down her face now. Her hands shook. I made mistakes. I know that. But we can fix this. We can go to counseling. There's no we anymore, Lisa. I stepped back. There's you, and there's me. And there's 60 people in that ballroom who now know exactly who you are. She flinched like I'd slapped her. Vanessa stepped forward, stood beside me. Where's Jordan? Lisa looked at her. I don't know. Liar. Vanessa's voice was ice. You've been lying for months, both of you, coordinating your alibis, sharing hotel rooms on my credit card, making me feel crazy when I ask questions. Vanessa, I'm sorry. Don't. Vanessa held up a hand. I loved you. You were my roommate, my friend. I trusted you with my kids, and you slept with my husband. Lisa's face crumpled. It wasn't supposed to happen. But it did. Vanessa's voice didn't waver. And you kept doing it, for months, in my house, around my children. You smiled at me, hugged me, told me Jordan was lucky to have me, and then you got in his car and went to a hotel. I never wanted to hurt you. Then you should have stopped. Vanessa's voice rose slightly. Not a shout, just sharper. The first time, the second time, any time, you had 100 chances to stop, to tell the truth, to do the right thing, and you chose not to, every single time. Lisa reached for Vanessa's hand. Vanessa pulled back. Don't touch me, Vanessa said. Don't ever touch me again. Lisa's hand dropped. She looked small suddenly, diminished, like all the air had gone out of her. I'm sorry, she whispered again. Yes, you did. Vanessa stepped closer. You just didn't think you'd get caught. A woman I didn't recognize approached from the side, mid-40s, elegant, holding a wine glass. She stopped beside Lisa. I'm Rebecca, she said to me. I work with Lisa. Worked with her, I suppose. She turned to Lisa. I want you to know that I read every page of that packet. The calendar conflicts, the hotel receipts, the fake police report. She paused. I defended you when the rumors started. I told people you'd never do something like that. I vouched for you. Lisa looked up. Rebecca. I feel like an idiot, Rebecca continued, because it was all true, every word, and you let me defend you. You let me look stupid. I didn't mean... Yes, you did. Rebecca set her wine glass on a nearby table. You meant all of it. You just didn't mean to get caught. She walked away without another word. 2 more women approached. I recognized them from Lisa's social media. Friends, or former friends. We're leaving, one of them said to Lisa. Not unkind, just final. We can't be associated with this, with you. I'm sorry. They left. Lisa watched them go. Her face was pale, hollow. Morgan appeared beside Lisa. She didn't touch her, just stood there. Liz, Morgan said quietly, you need to leave. Morgan, go home. Call a lawyer. Figure out what you're going to do. But you can't stay here. Morgan's voice was steady, sad. Everyone knows, and they're not going to forgive you. You're my sister. I know, and I love you, but I can't stand with you on this. What you did to Ryan, what you did to Vanessa, it's indefensible. Morgan's eyes were wet. I'll help you through this. I'll make sure you're safe, but I won't lie for you, and I won't pretend this is okay. Lisa looked around the hallway. Guests stood in clusters, watching, whispering. Some held their phones up, recording. An older man in a suit approached. Board member, I guessed from his name tag. Ms. Calloway, he said formally. The board will be conducting a full review of your employment status. You'll receive official notification on Monday. Until then, you're on administrative leave. Please surrender your building access card. Lisa stared at him. You're firing me. We're reviewing your status. The ethics violation is clear. The falsified police report is concerning. We'll make a final determination after the investigation concludes. I have rights. Yes, and you'll have an opportunity to respond. But for now, your access is suspended. He held out his hand. Your card, please. Lisa fumbled in her purse, pulled out a key card, handed it over. The man nodded, walked away. Lisa's shoulders shook. She covered her face with her hands. I'm sorry, she whispered. I'm so sorry. I didn't reply. She looked up at me, mascara streaked down her cheeks. Ryan, please. I know I don't deserve it, but please. Just tell me you don't hate me. I looked at her, really looked, at the woman I'd married, the woman I'd loved, the woman who'd tried to destroy me. I don't hate you, I said quietly. I just don't know you anymore. Her face crumpled. She turned, walked toward the exit, alone. I watched her go, watched the crowd part to let her through, watched the door close behind her. The hallway was silent for a moment, then the whispers started again, louder now, urgent. Vanessa exhaled slowly. Is it over? Not yet, I said. Claire still has to close the board minutes, make it official. Morgan touched my arm. Are you okay? No. Good, you shouldn't be. We walked back into the ballroom. The board reconvened 10 minutes later. Claire stood at the podium. Behind her, the screen displayed the meeting minutes, live, typed by the board secretary. The room was half empty now. Most of the guests had left, but the board members remained, and enough witnesses to matter. Claire adjusted the microphone. The board has reviewed the evidence submitted under Ethics Case ETH 2024-0847. The following findings are entered into tonight's official minutes. The secretary typed. The words appeared on the screen in real time. Case ETH 2024-0847. Complainant, Ryan Calloway. Subjects, Jordan Hayes, Lisa Calloway. Allegation, dual employment relationship in violation of company ethics policy. Evidence reviewed, calendar conflicts, financial records, witness statements, photographic metadata, falsified incident report. Finding, evidence substantiates the claim. Jordan Hayes is suspended from all board and employment duties pending full investigation. Lisa Calloway's board committee role is revoked effective immediately. HR review will proceed independently. Additional finding, falsified police report submitted by Lisa Calloway on March 14th has been referred to law enforcement for review. Complainant Ryan Calloway has declined to press charges at this time. Claire paused. Let the words sink in. Furthermore, she continued, the board wishes to acknowledge the courage it took for Mr. Calloway and Mrs. Hayes to bring this matter forward. Institutional accountability requires transparency, and transparency requires individuals willing to speak truth, even when it's difficult. She looked directly at me. The board thanks you for your integrity. Someone in the back of the room started clapping. Slowly, others joined. Not loud, not celebratory, just acknowledgement. Claire banged the gavel. This meeting is adjourned. The screen went dark. The secretary closed her laptop. Board members stood, gathering their things. Several approached me, shook my hand, said quiet words of support. That took guts, one man said. I'm sorry you had to go through this, a woman added. I nodded, thanked them, didn't know what else to say. Vanessa stood beside me, receiving similar condolences. She handled it better than I did, smiled, thanked people, looked composed. I felt like I was going to fall apart. Morgan took my hand, squeezed. Let's go, she said quietly. I nodded. We walked out together. The parking lot was cold. The night air bit at my skin. I stood beside my car, keys in hand, staring at nothing. My phone buzzed. I ignored it. It buzzed again and again. I pulled it out. 12 new messages, 20 missed calls. Most from numbers I didn't recognize. A few from colleagues, one from my attorney. Saw the video, call me tomorrow. You did great. I put the phone away. Vanessa stopped beside her SUV, turned to face me. Thank you, she said. For what? For not letting them get away with it, she paused. For not letting me stay blind. I didn't do it for you. I know, but it helped me anyway. She looked tired, older than she had this morning, like the weight of the night had aged her. Are you going to be okay? I asked. Eventually, she smiled weakly. Are you? I don't know. That's honest. It's all I have left. She stepped forward, hugged me. I hugged her back. We survived, she whispered. Yeah, that's something. She pulled back, got in her car, drove away. Morgan hugged me next. You okay? No. Good. You shouldn't be? She pulled back, looked at me. But you will be. How do you know? Because you're still standing, and that's the hardest part. She kissed my cheek, got in her car, left. I stood alone in the parking lot. The hotel lights cast long shadows. The wind picked up, cold and sharp. My phone buzzed again. Text from an unknown number. This is Jordan. You destroyed my career, my marriage, my life. I hope you're happy. I stared at the message. Typed back. I didn't destroy anything. I just stopped letting you hide it. I hesitated, then added, You did this to yourself. Both of you. I just made sure everyone knew. I hit send. Another message came through immediately. You're a vindictive bastard. I typed, No, I'm just someone who refused to be erased. I deleted the conversation, blocked the number, another text, different number, this is Alyssa. I know you probably don't want to hear from me, but I need you to know, I'm sorry. I should have told you sooner. I was a coward. I stared at the message. Typed back, Yes, you were. I know, She's my best friend. I didn't want to believe it. She wrote a fake police report about me. She tried to destroy my life. And you knew something was wrong. You whispered it at the party. You could have warned me. I know. I'm sorry. Sorry doesn't fix it. I know. I put the phone away, started the car. I drove home slowly. The streets were empty, the houses dark. When I pulled into the driveway, Lisa's car wasn't there. Good. I unlocked the door. The house was silent. I walked through each room, turning on lights. Kitchen, living room, study, bedroom. Everything looked the same. Everything felt different. I stood in the bedroom doorway, looked at the bed we'd shared for 4 years, the dresser with her jewelry box, the closet with her clothes. It all felt like evidence now, artifacts of a life that no longer existed. I went to the guest room, lay down on the bed, stared at the ceiling. My phone buzzed. Text from Claire. The board will meet next week to finalize Jordan's termination. Lisa's employment status will be reviewed separately. You did the right thing. I didn't reply. Another text. I know it doesn't feel like it, but you did. I set the phone on the nightstand, closed my eyes. The house settled around me, creaking, breathing. I thought about Lisa, about the look on her face when she realized everyone knew, about the way she'd walked out alone. I thought about Jordan, about his text, about his anger. I thought about Vanessa, about her kids, about the life she'd have to rebuild. I thought about myself, about the man I'd become, the man who'd engineered a public humiliation, the man who'd destroyed 2 careers in one night. I didn't feel victorious. I felt hollow. But I also felt free. For the first time in months, I wasn't carrying a secret. I wasn't pretending. I wasn't waiting for the other shoe to drop. It had dropped, loudly, publicly, irrevocably. And I was still here, still breathing, still standing. I closed my eyes, listened to the house settle around me. For the first time in weeks, I slept. Morning came too soon. I woke to sunlight cutting through the blinds, my phone buzzing on the nightstand, 12 missed calls, 23 texts. I scrolled through them without reading. Most were from numbers I didn't recognize. A few from colleagues, one from my attorney. Call me when you're up. I called. Ryan, he said, have you seen the news? No. Someone recorded last night. Posted it online. It's everywhere. I opened a browser on my phone. Searched charity gala confrontation. The first result was a video. Shaky phone footage. Claire's voice over the mic. The board has received formal notification of an ethics case. 300,000 views. Posted 8 hours ago. Comments flooded the screen. Finally, someone exposing workplace affairs. That fake abuse report is insane. The wife got what she deserved. Who brings evidence packets to a charity gala LMAO absolute legend. I scrolled further. More videos, different angles. Someone had filmed Lisa walking out alone. Another showed Jordan being escorted by security. A third captured Vanessa serving the separation papers. The comments on that one were different. Both spouses coordinated this. Respect. This is what accountability looks like. The lover's wife serving papers at the same event is cold. I closed the browser. Ryan? My attorney's voice. You still there? Yeah. This is good for us. Public record, witnesses, video evidence. Lisa's attorney won't be able to spin this. And the fake incident report, that torpedoes any credibility she had. What happens now? We proceed with the separation filing, custody adjustment, property division. Given the circumstances, I expect we'll get favorable terms. She committed fraud in writing. That's not something a judge ignores. Okay. Are you okay? I didn't answer. Ryan, take the weekend. Process this. Monday, we'll start the legal phase. But for now, just breathe. I hung up, sat on the edge of the bed, stared at the wall. The sunlight felt too bright. The room felt too small. Everything felt wrong. My phone buzzed again. Text from Morgan. Lisa's at Mom's house. Mom wants to talk to you. I didn't reply. Another text. She's not mad at you. She's mad at Lisa. Just FYI. I typed back, tell your mom I'll call her next week. Okay. You doing all right? No. That's fair. Love you. Love you too. I set the phone down, stood, walked to the kitchen, made coffee, drank it standing at the counter. The house felt too big, too quiet. Every surface reminded me of Lisa, the coffee maker she'd picked out, the dish towels she'd bought, the photos on the wall from trips we'd taken together. I couldn't stay here. I grabbed my keys. Left. I drove to the coast, an hour north, parked at an overlook where the cliffs dropped into the ocean. Got out, stood at the railing. The wind was brutal, cold. It numbed my face, my hands. I stayed there for a long time, watching the waves crash against the rocks below, watching seagulls circle overhead, watching the sun climb higher in the sky. I thought about the gala, about the look on Lisa's face when she realized everyone knew, about Jordan's anger as security escorted him out, about Vanessa's steady voice as she served the papers. I thought about the 60 packets, the 60 truths, the 60 witnesses. I thought about the video, 300,000 views, maybe more by now. I'd wanted accountability. I'd wanted justice. I'd wanted the truth on record. I'd gotten all of that. So why did I feel so empty? My phone rang. I almost ignored it. But the caller ID said Vanessa Hayes. I answered. Hi. Hi, she said. Her voice was tired. I wanted to check in, make sure you're okay. I'm at the ocean. That sounds nice. It's cold. Good. You should feel something. I laughed. It surprised me. How are your kids? Confused. Angry. My daughter asked why Daddy isn't living with us anymore. I didn't know what to say. What did you say? That Daddy made some bad choices, and that sometimes people we love hurt us, and that it's okay to be sad and angry at the same time. That's a good answer. She cried for an hour. Vanessa's voice cracked. Then she asked if it was her fault, if she'd done something wrong, if she could fix it. What did you tell her? That it wasn't her fault, that she couldn't fix it, that some things are just broken, and that's okay. We'll figure out how to be okay anyway. I didn't say anything. Lucas asked if you were going to be his new dad, Vanessa continued. I told him no, but that you were a good person who helped us when we needed it. What did he say? He said he wished you were his dad, because his real dad is mean. Her voice broke. He's 5 years old, Ryan, and he already knows his father is a liar. I'm sorry. Don't be. You didn't do this. Jordan did. And Lisa. They made their choices. We're just living with the consequences. Yeah. Ryan, Vanessa said quietly, I know this doesn't fix anything, but thank you for giving me the truth, even if it hurt. You're welcome. Are you going to be okay? Eventually. Me too. She paused. Have you seen the videos? Yeah. People are calling us heroes, saying we're brave, that we did the right thing. Do you feel like a hero? No. I feel like someone who got punched in the face and punched back. That's not heroism. That's just survival. Yeah. But I'm glad we did it, she said. I'm glad everyone knows. I'm glad it's on the record. I'm glad Jordan can't lie his way out of this. Me too. Okay, I'll let you go. Call me if you need anything. You too. She hung up. I stood there until the sun started setting. Then I drove home. That night, I sat in my study and opened the evidence folder on my laptop. Everything was still there. Screenshots, receipts, metadata, the photographer's statement, the fake incident report. I read it all again. Not because I needed to, but because I needed to remember. This wasn't about revenge. It wasn't about punishment. It was about refusing to let someone rewrite the story. Lisa had built a lie, a careful, calculated lie designed to destroy me if I ever got too close to the truth, and I'd dismantled it, one piece of evidence at a time. I closed the laptop, leaned back in the chair. My phone buzzed. Text from a number I didn't recognize. This is Alyssa. I'm sorry. I should have told you sooner. I knew something was wrong. I just didn't want to believe it. I stared at the message, typed back, you whispered it at the party. I heard you. Her reply, I know. I saw your face. I realized too late. Why didn't you tell me? Because she's my best friend, and I was a coward. I didn't respond. Another text. She's staying with her mom. She's a mess. She won't eat, won't talk, just cries. I typed, that's not my problem anymore. I know. I just thought you should know. Why? Because part of you still cares. And I think you need to know it's over. She's not fighting. She's just broken. I set the phone down, stared at the ceiling. Part of me did care. The part that remembered who she used to be, the woman I married, the one who laughed at bad movies and burned pancakes and cried at dog adoption commercials. But that woman was gone. Maybe she'd never existed. Maybe I'd just been looking at her through a filter. I didn't know anymore, and it didn't matter. My phone buzzed again, another text from Alyssa. She keeps asking if you'll talk to her, just once, just to say goodbye properly. I typed, we said goodbye at the gala, in front of 60 people. That's as proper as it gets. She says she needs closure. She had closure. She chose Jordan. She chose the lies. She chose to write a fake police report. Those were her closures. She doesn't get another one. Ryan, please. I know you're angry. I'm not angry. I'm done. There's a difference. No response. I set the phone on the desk, stood, walked to the window. The street outside was dark, quiet. A few porch lights glowed. A car passed, headlights cutting through the night. Normal life, continuing, indifferent. I thought about Lisa at her mother's house, crying, not eating, broken. I thought about Jordan, wherever he was, angry, blaming me, refusing to accept responsibility. I thought about Vanessa's kids, confused, hurt, asking questions no 5-year-old should have to ask. I thought about myself, standing in an empty house, staring out a window, wondering what came next. My phone rang. I looked at the screen. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. Hello? Ryan Calloway. A woman's voice. Professional, clipped. Yes. This is Jennifer Park. I'm a reporter with the Bay Area Chronicle. I'm doing a story on workplace ethics violations and public accountability. I'd like to interview you about what happened at the gala. No. I understand you're probably overwhelmed right now, but this is an important story. People need to hear. No, I repeated. I'm not interested in being part of your story. Mr. Calloway, you've already gone public. The video has been viewed over 500,000 times. You made this a public matter. Don't you think you owe it to people to explain why? I don't owe anyone anything. I documented the truth. I presented it to the appropriate authorities. That's all. But the way you did it, the evidence packets, the public confrontation, that was calculated, strategic. Some people are calling it brilliant. Others are calling it cruel. Don't you want to respond to that? No. What about your wife, Lisa Calloway? She's been placed on administrative leave. Her reputation is destroyed. Some people are saying you went too far, that you could have handled this privately. Some people didn't have a fake police report written about them. Silence. So you admit this was retaliation, Jennifer said. No, this was accountability. There's a difference? Can you explain that difference? Retaliation is about hurting someone because they hurt you. Accountability is about making sure the truth is on record so they can't hurt anyone else. I didn't do this to punish Lisa. I did it to protect myself and to make sure Jordan Hayes couldn't use his position to bury the evidence. But the public humiliation was a consequence of their choices, not mine. They chose to have an affair. They chose to coordinate alibis. They chose to lie to their spouses, their employers, their friends. I just made sure everyone knew what they'd chosen. And you don't feel any guilt about that? I paused, thought about it. I feel a lot of things, I said finally. Guilt isn't one of them. What do you feel? Tired, sad, relieved, angry, empty, all of it, at the same time. Do you regret it? No? Even knowing what it's cost you, your marriage, your privacy, your reputation in some circles? My marriage was already over. I just didn't know it yet. My privacy was already violated. Lisa and Jordan made sure of that. And my reputation? I laughed. I'd rather be known as the guy who told the truth than the guy who let himself be erased. That's a powerful statement. It's not a statement. It's just the truth. Can I quote you on that? No, because I'm not giving you an interview. This conversation is over. I hung up. Stood there, phone in hand, heart pounding. I'd meant what I said, every word. I didn't regret it. I couldn't. Because the alternative had been surrender, and I wasn't built for that. Sunday morning, I woke to more texts, more calls, more interview requests. I ignored them all. Instead, I went for a run. 5 miles, then 10, then 15. I ran until my legs burned, until my lungs screamed, until I couldn't think anymore. When I got home, I showered, made breakfast, sat at the kitchen table. My phone buzzed. Text from Morgan. Mom really wants to talk to you. She's worried. Can you please just call her? I sighed. Dialed Patricia's number. She answered on the first ring. Ryan. Hi, Patricia. Thank you for calling. I know this is hard. It's fine. No, it's not. But thank you anyway. She paused. I want you to know that I'm not calling to defend Lisa. I'm calling to apologize. For her. For myself. For not seeing what was happening. You couldn't have known. I should have. I'm her mother. I should have seen the signs, the lies, the distance, but I didn't. And I'm sorry. It's not your fault. It feels like it is. Her voice cracked. I raised her to be better than this. To be honest. To be kind. To treat people with respect. And she became someone I don't recognize. People change. No, people reveal who they always were. And I'm terrified that this is who Lisa always was, that I just didn't want to see it. I didn't know what to say. She's not eating, Patricia continued. She barely sleeps. She just sits in her old room and cries. Morgan's worried she's going to hurt herself. Is she? I don't know. I don't think so. But I'm watching her. We all are. Good. Ryan, I know you don't owe her anything, but if you could just talk to her, just once, just to give her some kind of closure. No. Please. Patricia, I love you. You've been good to me. But I can't do that. I can't give her closure, because closure implies an ending. And this isn't an ending. This is a consequence. And consequences don't end. They just are. Silence. I understand, she said finally. I'm sorry. Don't be. You're protecting yourself. That's not cruelty. That's survival. Thank you. Take care of yourself, Ryan. You too. I hung up, sat there for a long time, staring at nothing, feeling everything. Monday morning, my attorney called. Lisa's attorney reached out. They want to negotiate a settlement. What are they offering? She'll accept the separation. No contest. She's willing to agree to a custody adjustment in your favor. She'll take supervised visitation rights for now. In exchange, she's asking that you don't pursue charges related to the fake incident report. Charges. Filing a false report can be prosecuted as fraud in some jurisdictions. Given that she documented it with intent to use it in a legal proceeding, there's an argument for criminal charges. I was quiet. Ryan? I don't want to put her in jail. Then we agree to her terms, clean separation, custody in your favor. She walks away with minimal assets, no alimony, and we both move on. What about Jordan? Jordan's been terminated. The board finalized it this morning. His severance package was voided due to ethics violations. Vanessa's attorney is pursuing a separate civil suit for emotional damages and misuse of marital assets. Good. Do you want me to proceed with Lisa's settlement? I thought about it. Yes. Okay, I'll draft the paperwork. We should be able to finalize everything within 2 weeks. I hung up, sat at my desk, stared at the calendar on the wall. 2 weeks, 14 days, and then it would be over. I pulled up my email. 47 new messages since yesterday. Most were from people I didn't know. Strangers who'd seen the video, some supportive, some critical, some just curious. One subject line caught my eye. From a fellow survivor. I opened it. Mr. Calloway, I don't know if you'll read this. I'm sure you're getting hundreds of messages. But I wanted to reach out. My husband cheated on me 3 years ago. I found out the same way you did. Accidentally. A text message I wasn't supposed to see. When I confronted him, he denied it. Gaslit me. Told me I was paranoid. Crazy. He even suggested I see a therapist. I believed him. For 6 months, I believed him. Until I found the hotel receipts. When I finally filed for divorce, he tried to destroy me. Told our friends I was unstable. Told his family I was abusive. He even filed a restraining order against me, completely fabricated. It took me 2 years and $30,000 in legal fees to clear my name. I wish I'd had your courage. I wish I'd documented everything. I wish I'd made it public. Because he got away with it. He remarried. He's happy. And I'm still picking up the pieces. What you did at that gala, it wasn't cruel. It was necessary. You protected yourself. You protected Vanessa. And you made sure they couldn't rewrite the story. Thank you for showing people that accountability is possible. Sarah, I read it twice. Then I closed my laptop, sat there in the silence. I hadn't thought about it that way, about other people watching, learning, maybe finding the courage to do the same. I'd just been trying to survive. But maybe survival looked like courage from the outside. That afternoon, I went to the grocery store. Normal errands, normal life. I moved through the aisles on autopilot, picking up bread, milk, coffee. At the checkout, the cashier looked at me twice, then said, "Are you the guy from the video?" I stared at her. "The gala thing," she said, "with the evidence packets. That was badass." I didn't know what to say. "My ex cheated on me," she continued, scanning my items. "I wish I'd had the guts to do what you did. Most people just slink away and pretend it didn't happen." "I'm sorry," I said. "About your ex." She shrugged. "He wasn't worth it. Sounds like your wife wasn't either." She handed me the receipt, smiled. I left. Sat in my car in the parking lot for a long moment. This was my life now. Being recognized, being commented on, being turned into a symbol of something I didn't fully understand. I started the car, drove home. Tuesday evening, I got a call from an unknown number. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. Hello? Ryan Calloway? A man's voice. Deep, unfamiliar. Yes? My name is Marcus Webb. I'm Jordan Hayes' attorney. I sat up straighter. Okay. I'm calling to inform you that my client is considering legal action against you for defamation, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and invasion of privacy. I laughed. Couldn't help it. Is something funny, Mr. Calloway? Yeah. The idea that Jordan Hayes, a man who was caught in a documented affair, who violated company ethics policy, who was terminated for cause, thinks he has grounds to sue me for telling the truth. The manner in which you disclosed that information was calculated to cause maximum harm. The manner in which I disclosed that information was calculated to ensure it couldn't be buried by someone with institutional power. Your client controlled HR. He could have made any internal complaint disappear, so I went external. And public? That's not defamation. That's accountability. You humiliated him. He humiliated himself. I just made sure everyone knew about it. Silence. Mr. Calloway, I'm advising you that if you make any further public statements about my client, we will pursue legal action. Your client is a public figure now. The video has over 1 million views. He's been terminated from a board position. That's newsworthy. I can talk about newsworthy events. First Amendment. We'll see what a judge says. Go ahead. File your lawsuit. Discovery will be fun. I have 300 pages of evidence. Calendar conflicts, hotel receipts, witness statements, metadata, and a fake police report your client's affair partner wrote about me. I'd love to put all of that in front of a jury. Another pause. I'll be in touch, Marcus said. He hung up. I sat there, phone in hand, heart pounding. Then I called my attorney. Jordan's lawyer just threatened to sue me. For what? Defamation, emotional distress, invasion of privacy. My attorney laughed. He won't. It's a bluff. If he files, we'll counterclaim for malicious prosecution, and we'll win. He's just trying to scare you into silence. It's not working. Good, and don't let it. You did everything by the book. You documented. You reported through proper channels. You didn't lie. You didn't fabricate. You just told the truth. That's not defamation. That's protected speech. Okay. Ryan, breathe. This is noise. It'll pass. I hung up, but my hands were still shaking. Wednesday, Morgan called. Mom wants to see you. I'm not ready. I know, but she's insistent. She says she needs to apologize. For what? For Lisa. For not seeing it sooner. For, I don't know. Being a mom, I guess. I sighed. Okay. Tell her I'll come over Saturday. Thank you. How's Lisa? Morgan was quiet for a moment. Not good. She barely leaves her room. Mom's worried she's going to do something stupid. Like what? I don't know. Just something. Keep an eye on her. I will. She paused. Ryan, do you ever think about forgiving her? No. Not even eventually. Morgan, she tried to destroy me. She wrote a fake police report. She coordinated lies with her lover for months. She gaslit me. She made me feel crazy. And when I found out, she didn't apologize. She didn't come clean. She just crumbled. Because she got caught. Not because she was sorry. She is sorry now. Now that everyone knows. Now that her reputation is ruined. Now that she's facing consequences. That's not remorse. That's regret. There's a difference. Morgan was quiet. I'm not saying I hate her, I continued. I don't. But I can't forgive her. Not now. Maybe not ever. And I'm okay with that. Okay, Morgan said softly. I understand. Do you? Yeah, I think I do. I hung up, stared at the wall. Forgiveness. Everyone wanted me to forgive her. To be the bigger person. To let it go. But forgiveness wasn't something you owed someone. It was something you gave. Freely. When you were ready. And I wasn't ready. Maybe I never would be. Friday, Vanessa texted. Jordan moved out. Took his stuff while I was at work. Didn't even leave a note. I'm sorry. Don't be. I'm relieved. How are the kids? Better. My daughter asked if you were going to be her new dad. I told her no. But that you were a good person who helped us. What did she say? She said you should come over for pizza sometime. I smiled. I'd like that. Good. Next Friday, I'll be there. Another text. His attorney called me. Threatened to sue for custody. Said I was an unfit mother for exposing the children to this situation. What did your attorney say? That Jordan has no grounds. That he's the one who committed adultery. That he's the one who violated ethics policy. That he's the one who lost his job. The judge will laugh him out of court. Good. Ryan. Yeah? Thank you. For everything. I know I keep saying it, but I mean it. You gave me my life back. You gave yourself your life back. I just helped you see the truth. Still, thank you. I set the phone down, felt something close to peace. Saturday, I drove to Lisa's mother's house. It was a small ranch-style home in the suburbs. I'd been there 100 times, family dinners, holidays, birthdays. It felt different now. Morgan answered the door, hugged me. She's in the living room. Fair warning, she's emotional. I nodded. Lisa's mother, Patricia, sat on the couch. She was in her 60s, silver hair, kind eyes. She looked older than I remembered. When she saw me, she stood, walked over, hugged me tight. I'm so sorry, she whispered. I hugged her back. It's not your fault. She's my daughter. I should have seen it. No one saw it. She pulled back, looked at me. I raised her better than this. I know. We sat. Morgan brought tea. We drank in silence for a moment. Is she here? I asked. Patricia nodded. Upstairs. She won't come down. That's okay. She wants to talk to you. I don't want to talk to her. Patricia looked at me, nodded slowly. I understand. I'm not trying to be cruel. You're not, Patricia said firmly. You're protecting yourself? That's not cruel. That's survival. I looked down at my tea. She's my daughter, Patricia continued, and I love her. But what she did to you, what she did to Vanessa, it's unforgivable. I told her that. What did she say? She cried, said she didn't mean for it to go this far, that it just happened. Patricia shook her head. I told her that's not an excuse, that grown women don't just fall into affairs, they make choices, and she made a lot of bad ones. I didn't say anything. She wrote that incident report, Patricia said quietly. The fake one, about you being threatening. I know. That's evil, Ryan. I don't use that word lightly, but that's what it is. She tried to destroy you, preemptively. Patricia's hands shook. I didn't raise her to be that person. People change. No. Patricia looked at me. People reveal who they always were. She set her tea down, looked at me with red-rimmed eyes. I keep asking myself where I went wrong, she said. What I did, what I didn't do, how I raised a daughter who could lie like that, who could hurt people like that. You didn't do anything wrong. Then why did she turn out this way? I don't know. Maybe she was always capable of it. Maybe the circumstances just brought it out. Maybe she made a choice and then kept making choices until she couldn't turn back. I paused. But it's not your fault. You can't control who your children become. Patricia wiped her eyes. She asked me if you'd ever forgive her. What did you tell her? I told her I didn't know, that forgiveness isn't something you can demand, that she'd have to live with the uncertainty. Patricia looked at me. Will you ever forgive her? I thought about it. I don't know, I said honestly. Right now, I can't. Maybe someday, but not now. That's fair. I finished my tea, stood. Thank you for seeing me, I said. Patricia stood, hugged me again. You're a good man, Ryan. You deserve better. So does Vanessa. Yes, she does. Morgan walked me to the door. You okay? She asked. Yeah. Lisa's going to try to reach out to you. She's desperate. I won't answer. Good. She hugged me. I'm proud of you, you know, for standing up for yourself, for not letting her erase you. Thanks. I mean it. You're stronger than you think. I left. Drove home in silence. Thought about Patricia's question. Will you ever forgive her? I didn't know, and I was okay with not knowing. That night, Lisa called. I didn't answer. She called again. I blocked the number. A text came through from a different number. Ryan, please. I just want to explain. I blocked that one too. Another text. Another number. I'm sorry. I know I don't deserve forgiveness, but please let me say goodbye. I stared at the message. Typed back, you already said goodbye. At the gala. When you chose him over the truth. I didn't choose him. I was confused. You weren't confused. You were calculated. You scripted your alibis, coordinated your lies, built a fake abuse story to use against me. That's not confusion, that's malice. No response for a long moment. Then, I was scared. Of what? Of losing everything. My job, my reputation, you. You lost me the moment you slept with Jordan. You just didn't know it yet. I made a mistake. No. You made a series of choices, over months, Every time you lied, every time you deleted a photo, every time you came home and kissed me while you were sleeping with someone else. Those were choices, not mistakes. I'm sorry, I know. But sorry doesn't fix this. Sorry doesn't undo the fake police report. Sorry doesn't give me back the months I spent thinking I was crazy. Sorry is just a word. What do you want from me? Nothing. I don't want anything from you anymore. That's the point. No response. I set the phone down, went to bed, and for the first time in weeks, I slept through the night without waking. The settlement was finalized on a Thursday. I sat in my attorney's office, signing page after page. Lisa signed remotely. Her attorney transmitted the documents electronically. We didn't have to be in the same room. I was grateful for that. Separation agreement finalized, my attorney said. Custody adjustment approved. Asset division complete. No alimony. No ongoing financial obligations except child support, which you'll pay to maintain stability for any future custody arrangements. We don't have kids. I know, but the language is there in case of disputes. Standard. I signed the last page. That's it? That's it. You're officially separated. Divorce will be final in 6 months, per state law. I stood, shook his hand. Thank you. You did the hard part, he said. I just filed the paperwork. I walked out of the office into the bright afternoon sun. The street was busy, people rushing past, cars honking, life continuing. I stood there for a moment, holding the folder with my copies of the settlement documents. 4 years of marriage, reduced to 47 pages of legal language. I got in my car, drove home, sat in the driveway for 10 minutes before going inside. The house was quiet, empty. I walked through each room, looking at everything with new eyes. This wasn't our house anymore. It was just a house, a place I happened to live. I'd have to sell it eventually. Too many memories, too many ghosts. But not yet. For now, I just needed to breathe. That evening, I called Vanessa. It's done, I said. Settlement's finalized. How do you feel? I don't know. Empty, relieved, sad, all of it. Yeah, I felt the same way when mine went through. She paused. You want to come over? The kids have been asking about you. Yeah, I'd like that. Tomorrow, we're doing pizza and a movie. Sounds perfect. That weekend, I went to Vanessa's house for pizza. Her kids were shy at first. Her daughter Emma was 7. Her son Lucas was 5. They stared at me from the hallway while Vanessa set the table. This is Ryan, Vanessa said. He's a friend. Emma stepped forward. Are you the man who helped Mommy? Yes. Daddy said you're a liar. Vanessa's face went pale. Emma, it's okay, I said. I crouched down to Emma's level. Your dad is angry, and when people are angry, they sometimes say things that aren't true. I'm not a liar. I just told the truth. And sometimes the truth makes people upset. Emma studied me. Did you make Daddy leave? No. Your dad made choices that meant he couldn't stay. I just made sure everyone knew what those choices were. Was he bad? I glanced at Vanessa. She nodded. He made bad choices, I said carefully. That's not the same as being a bad person. But sometimes people we love hurt us. And when they do, we have to protect ourselves. Emma thought about this. Then she hugged me. I wasn't expecting it. I hugged her back. Lucas ran over and hugged me too. Vanessa's eyes were wet. We ate pizza. The kids told me about school, about their friends, about a science project Emma was working on. Lucas showed me his dinosaur collection, explaining each one in elaborate detail. This one's a T-Rex, he said, holding up a plastic figure. He's the king, but he's not mean. He just protects his family. That's a good king, I said. Are you a king? Lucas asked. No, I'm just a regular person. Mommy says you're a hero. I looked at Vanessa. She shrugged, smiling. I'm not a hero, I said. I just did what I had to do. That's what heroes do, Emma said matter-of-factly. After dinner, we watched a movie, some animated thing about talking animals. The kids sat on either side of me on the couch. Lucas fell asleep halfway through, his head on my shoulder. Vanessa looked over, smiled. When the movie ended, she carried Lucas to bed. Emma hugged me goodnight. Will you come back? She asked. If your mom invites me. She will. She likes you. I like her too. Emma smiled. Ran upstairs. Vanessa came back down. We sat on the couch in the quiet house. Thank you, she said. For what? For being here. For being kind to them. They need stability, normalcy, someone who doesn't lie to them. I'm happy to be here. Are you? She looked at me. Really? Yeah, this feels good. Real. It does, doesn't it? She leaned back. I keep waiting for the other shoe to drop, for something to go wrong. But it doesn't. It's just quiet, peaceful. That's not a bad thing. No, it's not. We sat in comfortable silence for a while. Ryan, Vanessa said quietly, I know this is complicated. Us, this friendship, whatever it is. But I want you to know, I'm grateful for everything. You gave me my life back. You gave yourself your life back. I just helped you see the truth. Still, she touched my hand. Thank you. I squeezed her hand. You're welcome. I left an hour later, drove home feeling lighter than I had in months. 2 weeks later, I ran into Jordan at a coffee shop. I didn't see him at first. I was ordering, distracted, thinking about a client pitch. Then I heard his voice. Ryan. I turned. He looked different. Thinner, unshaven, tired. His clothes were wrinkled. His eyes were bloodshot. Jordan. We stood there, silent. The barista called out orders. People moved around us. The world continued. I don't know what you want me to say, he finally said. I don't want you to say anything. You destroyed my life. No, you did that. I just stopped covering for you. His jaw tightened. You didn't have to make it public. Yes, I did. You controlled HR. You would have buried any internal complaint. The only way to get justice was to go around you, publicly. I lost everything. So did Vanessa. So did I. You got everything in your divorce? I got the truth on record, I interrupted. Lisa kept her freedom. Her reputation is damaged, but she's not in jail. She's not unemployed. She's just facing consequences. That's not cruelty. That's accountability. Jordan stared at me. I loved her. No, you didn't. You loved the thrill, the secret, the power. If you loved her, you wouldn't have let her write a fake abuse report to use against her husband. You would have stopped her. His face twisted. I didn't know about that. I don't believe you. It's true. Jordan, I stepped closer. You're a liar. You've lied to your wife for months. You've lied to your employer. You've lied to your kids. Why would I believe anything you say now? He didn't answer. You know what the worst part is? I continued. You still don't get it. You still think you're the victim here, that I did something to you, but I didn't. I just refused to let you hide. You humiliated me. You humiliated yourself. Every time you lied. Every time you snuck around. Every time you looked Vanessa in the eye and told her you were working late. You built this. I just made sure everyone could see it. Jordan's hands clenched into fists. For a moment, I thought he might swing at me. But he didn't. He just stood there, shaking. I have nothing left, he said quietly. No job, no wife, no kids. My reputation is destroyed. My career is over. I can't even get an interview. Everyone knows. Everyone's seen the video. Good. His eyes widened. Good? Yeah, good. Because now you can't do this to anyone else. Now every employer will Google you and see exactly who you are. Now every woman you meet will know your history. You can't hide anymore. And that's exactly what should happen. You're a monster. No, I'm just someone who refused to be erased. I picked up my coffee. You want to know the difference between us, Jordan? When you got caught, you blamed everyone else. Me, Vanessa, Lisa, the board, the system, everyone but yourself. But when I found out what you did, I didn't blame anyone. I just documented it. And I made sure the truth was on record. That's not monstrous. That's just honest. I walked past him. He called after me. Do you feel better, now that you've won? I stopped, turned back. I didn't win, I said. I just didn't lose as much as I could have. What's that supposed to mean? It means I still lost my marriage. I still lost 4 years of my life. I still lost the person I thought Lisa was. I still have to live with the fact that someone I loved tried to destroy me. I paused. But I didn't lose myself. I didn't lose my integrity. I didn't lose my ability to look in the mirror, and that's more than you can say. Jordan's face crumpled. I'm sorry. No, you're not. You're just sorry you got caught. That's not true. Yes, it is. If you were really sorry, you would have stopped. You would have told the truth. You would have faced the consequences with dignity. But you didn't. You fought, you lied, you blamed, and now you're standing here trying to make me feel guilty for exposing you. That's not remorse. That's manipulation. I turned to leave. Ryan, Jordan said. His voice was different now, smaller. I know you hate me, but can I ask you something? I stopped, didn't turn around. What? Do you think I can ever come back from this? I thought about it. I don't know, I said honestly. Maybe. If you actually take responsibility. If you stop blaming everyone else. If you do the work to become someone different. But that's on you. Not me. Not Vanessa. Not Lisa. You. How do I do that? I don't know. Therapy, maybe. Honest self-reflection. Time. But you have to want to change. And I don't think you do. I think you just want the consequences to go away. Silence. You're probably right, Jordan said quietly. I walked out, sat in my car for a long moment. My hands were shaking, my heart was pounding, but I felt clear, unburdened. I'd said what I needed to say, and I'd meant every word. I started the car, drove away. That night, I got a text from Morgan. Lisa asked me to tell you something. What? She said she's sorry, and that she understands if you never forgive her. But she wanted you to know that she's getting help. Therapy. She's trying to be better. I stared at the message, typed back, okay, that's it? Just okay? What else do you want me to say? I don't know. Something. Morgan, I'm glad she's getting help. I really am. But that doesn't change what she did. And it doesn't mean I have to forgive her. I know. I wanted you to know she's trying. Okay, I know. Are you okay? Yeah, I am. Good. Love you. Love you too. I set the phone down, stared at the ceiling. Lisa was getting help. Good. She needed it. But that wasn't my problem anymore. I'd spent months carrying her secrets, her lies, her betrayal. I wasn't going to carry her redemption too. That was hers to carry. A month later, I got an email from Claire. Ryan, I wanted to update you on the board's actions following the gala. Jordan Hayes' termination has been finalized. His severance was voided. He's been removed from all professional directories and associations. Lisa Calloway's employment was also terminated after a full review. The board found that her conduct violated multiple ethics policies. She's been removed from all committee positions. Furthermore, the board has implemented new policies regarding workplace relationships, external reporting structures, and ethics oversight. We've hired an independent compliance officer to ensure these situations are handled appropriately in the future. I wanted to thank you again for bringing this matter forward. It was difficult, it was public, but it was necessary, and it's made our organization stronger. I hope you're doing well. Claire. I read it twice. Then I closed my laptop. It was done. Really done. Jordan was gone. Lisa was gone. The policies had changed. The system had adapted. I'd accomplished what I set out to do. So why did I still feel empty? I stood, walked to the window, looked out at the street. The sun was setting. The sky was orange and purple. Beautiful. My phone buzzed. Text from Vanessa. Emma's birthday is next month. She wants you to come? Please say yes. I smiled. Typed back, I'll be there. Thank you. She'll be so happy. Me too? I set the phone down, looked back out the window. The emptiness was still there, but it felt different now. Not hollow, just space. Room for something new. I didn't know what yet, but I was okay with that. For the first time in a long time, I was okay with not knowing. 3 months after the gala, I started therapy. I didn't want to, but Morgan insisted, and Vanessa agreed, and my attorney said it would be good for the record. So I went. My therapist's name was Dr. Ellen Reyes. She was in her 50s, calm, patient. She didn't push, just listened. The first session was awkward. I sat on a leather couch in her office, surrounded by plants and soft lighting, and didn't know what to say. Tell me why you're here, she said. My sister-in-law thinks I need therapy. What do you think? I think I'm fine. Are you? I didn't answer. Dr. Reyes smiled. That's okay. We don't have to start there. Tell me about your week. What's been on your mind? Work, the divorce, the video. The video? Someone recorded the gala, posted it online. It's been viewed over 2 million times now. How does that make you feel? Exposed, angry, relieved? I don't know. All of those feelings can be true at the same time. I looked at her. Can they? Yes. Emotions aren't binary. You can feel multiple things about the same event. That's normal. It doesn't feel normal. That's because you're in the middle of it. Give it time. The second session was easier. I talked about Lisa. About the affair, about the fake incident report. Dr. Reyes listened, took notes, asked clarifying questions. Do you miss her? She asked. Sometimes. Not the person she became, but the person I thought she was. Do you think that person ever existed? I don't know. Maybe. Or maybe I just saw what I wanted to see. That's a painful realization. Yeah. By the third session, I was ready to talk about the gala. Tell me about the gala, she said. You've probably seen the video? I have, but I want to hear it from you. I told her. The packets, the minutes, the silence. Lisa's face, Jordan's exit, Vanessa's envelope. When I finished, she was quiet. How did it feel? She asked. Powerful. Terrible. Both. Explain. Powerful because I'd taken control back. I'd stopped being the victim. I'd used the system against the people who tried to manipulate it. I paused. Terrible because I'd humiliated my wife in front of 60 people, because I'd ended Jordan's career, because even though they deserved it, I still felt like a monster. Do you think you're a monster? No, but I think I did something monstrous. Do you regret it? I thought about that. No. Why not? Because it was the only way. If I'd kept it private, Jordan would have buried it. Lisa would have used the fake report against me. I would have lost everything, and they would have walked away clean. I couldn't let that happen. Dr. Reyes nodded. You protected yourself. I destroyed them. Those aren't mutually exclusive. I looked at her. Ryan, she said gently, you were in a psychological war. Your opponent was armed with institutional power, social leverage, and a pre-written false narrative designed to obliterate you. You didn't start that war. You just refused to surrender. I didn't say anything. What they did to you, what Lisa did, what Jordan enabled, it wasn't just infidelity. It was strategic betrayal, calculated, documented, aimed at your destruction if you ever got too close. She leaned forward. You didn't humiliate them. You revealed them. There's a difference. It doesn't feel different. I know, but it is. She set down her notepad. Let me ask you something. If you could go back and do it differently, handle it privately, quietly, would you? I thought about it. Really thought about it. No. Why not? Because private would have meant powerless. Jordan controlled HR. He could have made any internal complaint disappear. Lisa had already built a false narrative to use against me. If I'd gone to them privately, they would have destroyed me, quietly, efficiently. And no one would have known. So you chose to make it public. I chose to make it undeniable. There's a difference. Dr. Reyes smiled. Yes, there is. After that session, I started sleeping better. Not great, but better. I still woke up sometimes in the middle of the night, thinking about Lisa, about the gala, about the look on her face when she realized everyone knew. But the nightmares were less frequent. The anxiety was manageable. I was healing, slowly, painfully, but healing. 4 months after the gala, Vanessa's divorce was finalized. She texted me, "It's done. I'm free." I replied, "Congratulations. Can I take you to dinner? To celebrate?" I hesitated. "Just as friends," she added. "I'm not ready for anything else. Neither are you." Okay. Friday, perfect. We met at a quiet Italian place. Ate a pasta, drank wine, talked about everything except Jordan and Lisa. Emma asked about you yesterday, Vanessa said. Yeah? She wanted to know if you were coming to her birthday party. When is it? Next month. You don't have to come? I'll be there, Vanessa smiled. Thank you. For what? For not disappearing. A lot of people would have. After the gala, after everything settled, they would have just moved on. Pretended we never existed. You're my friend. Am I? Yes. She looked at me. Good, because you're mine too. She set down her wine glass. Can I tell you something? Of course. I was terrified that night, at the gala. When we walked in, when I saw the packets on the seats, when Claire started reading the case number. She paused. I thought I was going to throw up, or pass out, or both. You didn't show it. I know, but inside I was screaming. I kept thinking, what if this doesn't work? What if Jordan talks his way out of it? What if everyone sides with him? But they didn't. No, they didn't, because you made it impossible for them to ignore. You documented everything. You made it public. You made it undeniable. She reached across the table, touched my hand. You saved me, Ryan. You gave me the courage to stand up, to fight back, to refuse to be erased. You saved yourself. I just showed you the truth. Maybe. But I wouldn't have had the strength to do it alone. I needed to know someone else was fighting too, that I wasn't crazy, that I wasn't alone. You weren't. You're not. She squeezed my hand. Thank you. We finished dinner, walked to our cars. At her SUV, she turned, hugged me. I'm glad you told me the truth, she said. Me too. She pulled back, looked at me. Ryan, can I ask you something? Sure. Do you ever think about what comes next? After all this? After the divorce is final? After the dust settles? Sometimes. What do you think about? I don't know. Starting over, I guess. Building a new life? One that's mine, not ours, just mine. That sounds lonely. Maybe, but it also sounds free. Vanessa nodded. Yeah, it does. She got in her car, drove away. I stood in the parking lot for a long moment. Then I went home. 5 months after the gala, I sold the house. It was time. Too many memories. Too many ghosts. The realtor said I'd get a good price. The market was strong. The neighborhood was desirable. It would sell fast. She was right. 3 offers in the first week. I accepted the highest one. Closing was scheduled for the end of the month. I started packing, room by room, box by box. It was harder than I expected. Every item had a story: the coffee maker Lisa had picked out, the couch we'd bought together, the photos on the wall from trips we'd taken. I threw most of it away, donated the rest. I didn't want reminders. Morgan came over to help. She didn't say much, just packed boxes beside me in silence. You okay? She asked at one point. Yeah. Liar, I smiled. Okay, no, but I will be. That's better. She taped up a box, labeled it Kitchen Donate. Have you heard from Lisa? She asked. No, you? Yeah, she calls Mom every few days. Asks about you. What does she ask? If you're okay, if you're seeing anyone, if you ever talk about her. What does Mom say? That you're doing fine, that you're moving on, that you don't talk about her. Good. Morgan looked at me. Do you ever think about forgiving her? No. Not even a little? Morgan, she tried to destroy me. She wrote a fake police report. She coordinated lies with her lover for months. She gaslit me. She made me feel crazy. And when I found out, she didn't apologize. She didn't come clean. She just crumbled. Because she got caught. Not because she was sorry. She's sorry now. Now that everyone knows. Now that her reputation is ruined. Now that she's facing consequences. That's not remorse. That's regret. There's a difference. Morgan was quiet. I'm not saying I hate her, I continued. I don't. But I can't forgive her. Not now. Maybe not ever. And I'm okay with that. Okay, Morgan said softly. I understand. We kept packing. By the end of the day, the house was half empty. Boxes stacked in the garage, furniture tagged for donation. It looked hollow, sad, but it also looked lighter, like I was shedding weight, letting go. 6 months after the gala, the divorce was finalized. I received the decree in the mail, signed, stamped, official. I opened it at my kitchen table in my new condo, read it once, set it down. It felt anticlimactic. I thought I'd feel something, relief, maybe, or sadness. But I just felt empty. My phone buzzed. Text from Dr. Reyes. How are you doing today? I smiled. She always seemed to know when I needed to hear from someone. Divorce is final. Feeling weird. Weird how? Like I should feel more. But I just feel nothing. That's normal. You've been processing this for months. By the time the paperwork comes through, the emotional work is already done. Is that healthy? Yes. It means you're healing. I set the phone down, stared at the decree. 4 years of marriage, reduced to 47 pages of legal language. I folded it, put it in a drawer, closed it, and then I went for a run. That weekend, I went to Emma's birthday party. Vanessa's house was full of kids. Balloons, cake, chaos. Emma ran up to me the moment I walked in. Ryan, you came. Of course I did. She hugged me, then dragged me to the backyard to show me her new swing set. Lucas followed, chattering about dinosaurs. I spent the afternoon playing games, eating cake, laughing. For a few hours, I forgot about the gala, about Lisa, about Jordan, about the evidence packets and the minutes and the video that had gone viral. I was just there, present. Vanessa found me at the end of the party, sitting on the porch while the kids ran around the yard. Thank you for coming, she said. Thank you for inviting me. She sat beside me. We watched the kids in silence. Do you think we'll ever be okay? She asked. What do you mean? I mean, do you think we'll ever get past this? Really past it? Not just surviving, but actually living again? I thought about it. Yeah, I said. I think we will. How do you know? Because we're still here, and we're not alone. Vanessa smiled. No, we're not. She leaned her head on my shoulder. I didn't move. We sat there, watching the kids play as the sun set behind the trees, and for the first time in 6 months, I felt something close to peace. 7 months after the gala, I got a call from Claire. Ryan, I wanted to update you. The board has finalized all actions related to the ethics case. Okay. Jordan Hayes' termination is permanent. He's been blacklisted from all professional associations in the industry. He won't work in HR again. Good. Lisa Calloway's termination is also final. She's been removed from all professional directories. Her reputation in the industry is damaged. I understand. Furthermore, the board has implemented new policies, external reporting structures, independent ethics oversight, mandatory training on workplace relationships. Claire paused. Your case changed how we operate, for the better. I'm glad. I wanted to thank you again, for your courage, for your integrity, for refusing to let this be swept under the rug. You're welcome. How are you doing? Better. Healing. Good. You deserve that. She hung up. I sat there, phone in hand, staring at nothing. It was done. Really done. Jordan was gone. Lisa was gone. The policies had changed. The system had adapted. I'd accomplished what I set out to do. And now I could finally move on. 6 months after the gala, the divorce was finalized. I received the decree in the mail, signed, stamped, official. I opened it at my kitchen table, read it once, set it down. It felt anticlimactic. I thought I'd feel something. Relief, maybe. Or sadness. But I just felt empty. My phone buzzed. Text from Morgan. How are you doing? Fine. Liar. I smiled. Okay, I'm not fine, but I'm not terrible either. I'm just here. That's fair. Want to get coffee? Yeah. Tomorrow? I'll pick you up. Morgan and I sat on a bench overlooking the bay. Seagulls circled overhead. The water was gray and choppy. How's Lisa? I asked. Better. She's in therapy. She got a new job, smaller firm, less money, but she's trying. Good. She asks about you sometimes. I didn't respond. She's not trying to reach out, Morgan said quickly. She knows better. She just wonders if you're okay. I'm okay. Are you? I looked at Morgan. I don't know. I wake up every day and I'm angry. Not at her exactly, at the situation, at the fact that I had to become someone I didn't want to be in order to survive. You didn't become someone else. You just stopped hiding who you were. A crisis PR consultant who weaponizes evidence and destroys people in public? A man who refuses to let someone rewrite the truth. Morgan touched my hand. You're not the villain, Ryan. You never were. I stared at the water. She tried to destroy you, Morgan said quietly. She documented a fake abuse incident. She coordinated alibis with her lover. She gaslit you for months, and when you found out, you didn't hurt her. You didn't scream. You didn't hit her. You just gathered proof and made sure everyone knew the truth. She paused. That's not villainy. That's survival. It doesn't feel like survival. That's because survival isn't clean. It's messy. It's ugly. It leaves scars. Morgan squeezed my hand. But you're still here, and that's what matters. 7 months after the gala, I went to Emma's birthday party. Vanessa's house was full of kids, balloons, cake, chaos. Emma ran up to me the moment I walked in. Ryan, you came. Of course I did. She hugged me, then dragged me to the backyard to show me her new swing set. Lucas followed, chattering about dinosaurs. I spent the afternoon playing games, eating cake, laughing. For a few hours, I forgot about the gala, about Lisa, about Jordan, about the evidence packets and the minutes and the video that had gone viral. I was just there, present. Vanessa found me at the end of the party, sitting on the porch while the kids ran around the yard. Thank you for coming, she said. Thank you for inviting me. She sat beside me. We watched the kids in silence. Do you think we'll ever be okay? She asked. What do you mean? I mean, do you think we'll ever get past this? Really past it? Not just surviving, but actually living again? I thought about it. Yeah, I said. I think we will. How do you know? Because we're still here, and we're not alone. Vanessa smiled. No, we're not. 8 months after the gala, I saw Lisa at a coffee shop. It was accidental. I was in line. She was sitting in the corner, laptop open, working. She looked up, saw me. I froze. She didn't move, just looked at me. I didn't know what to do, so I did nothing, just stood there. She closed her laptop, stood, walked over. Hi, she said. Hi. I'm not going to make this weird. I just wanted to say I'm sorry. Again. For everything. I nodded. I know you don't forgive me, she continued. I don't expect you to. I just wanted you to know that I'm trying to be better. To do better. Okay. She looked at me. Are you happy? I don't know. That's fair. She paused. I hope you will be. Someday? You too. She walked back to her table, gathered her things, left. I stood there for a long moment. Then I ordered my coffee and went home. 1 year after the gala, I stood in my living room unpacking boxes. I'd sold the house. Too many memories, too many ghosts. The new place was smaller, a condo downtown, clean, neutral, mine. Vanessa helped me unpack. Emma and Lucas ran around, claiming rooms, arguing about which one was bigger. This is nice, Vanessa said, looking around. Yeah, new start. Something like that. She looked at me. Are you okay? I thought about it. Yeah, I said. I think I am. And I meant it. That night, I sat on the balcony of my new condo looking out at the city lights. My phone buzzed. Text from Morgan. Proud of you. I smiled. Thanks. You did it. You survived. We'll see. No, you did. You're still here. You're still fighting. That's what matters. I set the phone down, stared at the lights. A year ago, I'd stood in my living room, listening to Alyssa whisper a secret that shattered my world. A year ago, I'd been married to a woman who tried to destroy me. A year ago, I'd been powerless. But I wasn't powerless anymore. I'd fought back. Not with violence, not with cruelty, just with the truth. And the truth had been enough. I thought about Lisa, about Jordan, about the gala, about the evidence packets and the minutes and the silence. I didn't regret it. I couldn't, because the alternative had been surrender, and I wasn't built for that. I finished my drink, stood, walked back inside, closed the door, started over. 2 years after the gala, I got a call from an unknown number. I almost didn't answer, but curiosity won. Hello? Ryan, it's Claire Whitmore, from the gala. I sat up. Claire, hi. I hope I'm not interrupting. I wanted to reach out, see how you're doing. I'm good, better. Good, I'm glad. She paused. I also wanted to tell you something. The board, well, we've had a lot of discussions over the past 2 years. About ethics, about transparency, about how to handle situations like yours. Okay. We've implemented new policies, external reporting structures, third-party oversight. We're making sure that what happened with Jordan, people using institutional power to hide misconduct, can't happen again. I didn't say anything. I know it doesn't undo what happened to you, Claire continued, but I wanted you to know that your actions, difficult as they were, they changed things. For the better. Thank you. No. Thank you. You could have walked away, filed quietly, disappeared, but you didn't. You made it public. You made it undeniable. And because of that, we had to change. I closed my eyes. You did the right thing, Ryan. It didn't feel like it. It never does. But that doesn't make it less true. She hung up. I sat there for a long time. Then I smiled. 3 years after the gala, Vanessa and I took the kids to the beach. Emma was 10 now. Lucas was 8. They ran ahead, chasing waves, laughing. Vanessa and I walked behind them, shoes in hand, feet in the surf. Do you ever think about it? She asked. The gala? Yeah, sometimes. Do you regret it? I looked at her. Do you? She shook her head. No, it destroyed me for a while, but it also freed me. I don't have to lie anymore. I don't have to pretend. I just am. Yeah. What about you? I thought about it. I don't regret it, but I wish it hadn't been necessary. Me too. We walked in silence for a while. Emma ran back, soaking wet, grinning. Ryan, come swim. I looked at Vanessa. She smiled. Go, she said. I ran after Emma. The water was cold, the sun was warm, and for the first time in 3 years, I felt something close to peace.